Welcome to the tier list portion of the stream, everybody. We are back with more MPREG tier lists. The tier list where I decide who I'm gonna get pregnant, or who you are gonna get pregnant. Who do we want to get pregnant collectively? Because sharing is caring. We're doing 3 houses today, which lines up really well with our 3 houses streams. So, let's just, yeah, we just got through 5.5 hours of gameplay, and we did 1 map. So, you know, 3 houses moment. Anyways, so we're doing post time skip. We're also, oh, thank you, Kara Crossing, for the follow. So we're doing post time skip. We are doing Hope's characters. Just if they're from Fodlan, we're gonna try it. And for the monster fuckers in the chat, we're doing the monsters too. I didn't forget about them. So first off, we have male Byleth. I did not expect you to be as excited about that one arm over. We're gonna start off with male Byleth, and honestly, he gives me nothing. He gives nothing to me. He's going in MPREG neutral. Hanneman? I don't know if this is controversial, but I'm kind of here for Hanneman Old Man Yowie. I think he would look really good pregnant, but you could also have a lot of interest there with his trauma about his sister. So for that reason, I think he should get knocked up. Aloise would be an excellent mother. We see how he is with his daughter. You're telling me he didn't birth that little girl? Lies and slander. Gilbert, kill it with fire, Satan incarnate, all of that nonsense. It's not that I don't think he couldn't be a good father, I just think he lost his chance, and he needs to fix it with the child he already has, so he needs to be bullied. Sedith, if you've been watching the streams, you all know exactly where Sedith is going. My man is S-tier knock-upable. He birthed Flane. You can't tell me that he didn't birth Flane. I would get him so pregnant. Gerald, I kind of go back and forth on. On one hand, he seems like he would be the type that I would want to get pregnant, but on the other hand, Gerald kind of doesn't seem like that good of a dad. I mean, his kid is like 20, and he's already kind of thrown them to the wolves. Plus that, like, inexplicable period for, like, a year where he was just training Leonie and nobody has any idea where Byleth was, even though Byleth was theoretically a teenager at the time. That's weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him in MPREG neutral. I'm ambivalent. I am pulled 2 directions on him. Tomas, kill it with fire. Kostas, kill it with fire. Lenato, no. Honestly, Lenato could be in the upper echelons of Old Man Yowie if he wasn't so fucking stupid. Miklon, no. Solus, I think. Solus and, the other one. No. Kill it with fire. Absolutely not. Miklon I can see pregnant. See, I feel like Miklon... Okay. So if you don't already know, I've done a lot of thinking about Fire Emblem 3 Houses Omegaverse. Wild sentence to say, I know. And I do actually have a kind of crack shippy headcanon that Miklon and Glenn kind of had a thing going on. But, like, mostly unrequited. It was a lot of, like, Miklon to Glenn directional, unidirectional attraction. And in this scenario, Glenn was, of course, an Omega. And Miklon was a very, very insecure top about it all. So for that reason, that kind of interferes with me thinking that he could get pregnant. But who knows? Hubert, I think... God, how do I feel about Hubert? Could he get pregnant? This is so weird because this is all colored by my, again, extensive Omegaverse headcanons for Fire Emblem 3 Houses. And there's kind of like a love triangle going on in that with Hubert, Ferdinand, and Lorenz, actually. Where Ferdinand is obviously the one getting pregnant because he is Ferdinand von Aegir. So... I think Hubert could get pregnant, but I don't know if he would want to keep it. Though he would probably also really like getting pregnant because he could have little minions. He would probably view it. Yeah, actually, no. Yeah, Hubert would definitely want to get pregnant because he would want the minions that come with having your own children. I mean, that's not how you're supposed to raise kids, but nobody's gonna tell Hubert what to do. He'd give birth to a daughter. Fun fact, in my extensive Omegaverse headcanons, Ferdinand has exclusively daughters. He has 1 by Hubert and 2 by Lorenz in my extensive Omegaverse headcanons. Ferdinand's absolutely getting knocked up. Caspar, I could see it, but I don't think he's that high of a tier. He does get such a good glow up, though. But I would also worry about Casper's kids because he struggles to know the difference between right and wrong. I hope the ones with Lawrence have better hairstyles. It's too bad Rose isn't in the chat because, my Ferdinand babies kind of became her babies, so she's actually drawn an extensive amount of art of them. So I actually have quite a lot of art of this. Casper's too dumb to register he's pregnant. You're so right. He would wind up on one of those, like, I didn't know I was pregnant shows. Linhart I'm putting into MPREG neutral. I think he's just too lazy to bother. Now, Dimitri. Again, if you've been coming to the streams, you know exactly where Dimitri is going, but Dimitri is like an S tier for getting knocked up. I want Dimitri to have so many babies. I want him to have like 10 babies. I want him to have so many babies that I have to move the babies out so that he has room for more babies in my Sims 4 household because they only give me 8 character slots. So he's going in S tier. He's even going in the front of S tier. All at once? No, not all at once. He can have them over the span of like 10 years, I think. Jesus Christ, girl, you knew what you were getting into. You've been here before, Roran. He does. I gave him 5 kids originally, and then I added a 6th, and then as kind of a joke, I added Alfred and Saline from Engage on. And then, just anytime there's a character in Fire Emblem that kind of looks like Dimitri, I'm like, yeah, he could be a Dimmy-Do love child. So then I add them to the Sims household. I don't still have that save on this computer, but I could even show you all of them. They have names, they have backstories, I've written fanfic about them, it's a whole thing. Okay, because here's the reason why I like it so much, right? Because Dimitri's entire character is like, with these blood-stained hands, I must repent. And what's a better way to repent for murdering a bunch of people than giving life to the world? And he's having all of those children with Dedue, okay? It's their life's mission to repopulate Dusker by themselves. Speaking of Dedue, anyways, even though he is the father of all of Dimitri's children in my head, I would absolutely get him knocked up. I think that would be a beautiful thing. And I'm gonna put Felix also as a top tier, and I'm gonna tell you why. I think Felix would hate having kids. I even wrote an entire fanfic about it that didn't get finished. Don't call me out. But I think Felix would hate having kids. He would hate being pregnant. He would not want to have any children. And therefore, he should definitely get knocked up. I am terrified. Everybody always wants me to finish that one. That was like one of my most popular fanfics, and it's never getting done. It had like 1 chapter left, and I haven't updated it in like 6 years, and I don't even remember what I was doing with it at this point. Ash, I would absolutely knock up. I know we kid on the boy, but I think he could get pregnant. I am terrified to know what's in that clip, however, I guarantee you it will probably be turned into a YouTube short. Sylvain, I'm also gonna put as a no, because I don't know if I would want to inflict I don't know if I would want him to have to inflict motherhood on his children. That was a weird way to say that. I think inflicting motherhood on him would be horrible for his children. That's what I was trying to say. A baby can't fix Sylvain. He would deadbeat. You know, actually, in my Sylvix fic that never got finished, he was actually a good dad. Because I think Felix really didn't want to... I think where I was going with it is that Felix really didn't want the kids, so Felix just kind of runs Gautier at the end. And Sylvain just does the parenting part. Because Felix wasn't gonna do the parenting part, and Sylvain was like, if I don't take care of this kid, it's gonna die. I can see him throwing beer bottles at Felix. Okay. Sylvain's kind of a piece of shit. He's not that much of a piece of shit. I don't think he'd be, like, abusive or anything. That was a plot point in the fic, too. This is crazy, because I haven't talked about this in, like, 5 years, but... the plot point, I remember now, one of the plot points of the fic was going to be that Sylvain invents birth control. Because in the world building, they didn't have a safe way to do abortions, and so they decided to go through with the pregnancy just because they were worried that it could, like, kill Felix if they got one. And so after this whole ordeal, Sylvain just, like, invents birth control. Which, I wrote this before Hopes, where he invents guns, so I think it's pretty reasonable that he could invent birth control. I could probably fill a whole 5-hour stream just talking about all these ideas that I had in, like, 2019. Anyways, I could see Claude getting pregnant. Do I really put him that high, though? I don't know. I don't think that much about Claude. Lauren's, I think, kind of goes in the same bucket as Sylvain there. Though he's, you know, I'm gonna put him up a tier, because he's like Sylvain. He's not as bad as Sylvain. But he's also probably not inventing birth control like Sylvain, so I don't know, maybe it evens out. Raphael, no. And this is, the Raphael one is for such a petty personal reason, but he looks really similar to a guy I knew who was really creepy, and so I can't think about him getting pregnant. It weirds me out a little bit. Ignatz, I could see him pregnant. Luckily, haircuts aren't genetic, so he won't pass that down to his poor child. Are we doing Cyril? I know a lot of the fandom kind of babyfies Cyril, but he's like 20 by the end of Three Houses. So we're gonna do Cyril. I could see him pregnant. Metodi, he kind of sucks, but I kind of do want to see him get pregnant. Alright, what's your name? Randolph? Kill it with fire. I hate Randolph, piece of shit. Arundel, also kill it with fire. He kind of sucks. Ionius, no. Daddy Von Eyre, no. Hilardo, no. Rodrigue, I have feelings about Rodrigue, as you can probably guess. So, Rodrigue is the alpha, right? Lambert's the omega. Dimitri and Felix are their illicit love children. I can explain, if you want me to. What the hell, sure. So, okay, so I always really liked Rodrigue and Lambert because I love a lady and her knight tropes, and Rodrigue is a good knight, Lambert is a good lady. You know how it is. And so I was trying to brainstorm ways for them to have a baby together, and for it to make canonical sense. So I decided that Dimitri should be their illicit love child. How does that happen? Tentin Sreng, baby. Tentin Sreng. So anyways, the idea is that Rodrigue knocks Lambert up by accident, wasn't intentional, and Lambert decides to keep it, and then they spend the entire pregnancy freaking out because they're like, oh my god, if this baby comes out with a crest of Fraldarius or looking like Rodrigue, we're fucked. Because they are not married. They are ships passing in the night. They have never been able to be together, even though they desperately want to be. I have written fanfiction about this. You can find it on my AO3 if you would like. So, Dimitri is born, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, crests of Blathed. They're like, we're good to go. Except in some variations of this, I do have Dimitri and Felix as twins, and then when they see Felix, Rodrigue just takes Felix and pretends that his wife had that baby. What a great way to promote your AO3, thanks. I think I wrote like 3 or 4 Lambert Rodrigue fics. I actually wrote a lot more, I just didn't post all of them. Maybe one of these days, maybe that could be like a 1,000 subscriber goal or like a 300 follower goal, is I'll just go through all of my old like drafts and post them. Or like find an old draft to like fix up or something. Anyways, in some variants of this headcanon, Lambert has twins. One of the twins is Felix and one of the twins is Dimitri, and Rodrigue takes Felix and then Lambert takes Dimitri, and then they just pretend like they were separate, and Lambert just actually slept with his unnamed wife and Rodrigue slept with his unnamed wife, and it's all good. But in some variants, they're just half-brothers. MPREG fanfic co-working stream, we could. So that's the Lambert and Rodrigue headcanon. So for that reason, I don't know if I see Rodrigue getting pregnant. I think he could. But he's not the one I really want to see pregnant. The one I really want to see pregnant is Lambert. Gwendolyn, or whatever the fuck your name is, no. I don't remember your name. I know that you're like Claude's mentor. My brain is blanking. Is it like Nadir? I'd knock him up. This guy? No. I'd not knock up Gatekeeper, I'm sorry. All the Gatekeeper stands can come for me, but the helmet doesn't do it for me. He probably never takes the armor off. Okay. Maurice? I think this is supposed to be Maurice. I'm going MPREG neutral. The genocide doesn't really make him that attractive to me. However, Indec and Macule, I would so knock up. Look at them. Especially the turtle one. Was that Macule? I'd knock up Macule. He can have little turtle dragon babies. Nemesis is absolutely not getting knocked up. Yuritsa? Also not getting knocked up. And it's 100% because of his fuck-ass voice actor. I'm sure the voice actor is lovely. He just did... Okay, you know what? I'm pretty sure that the voice director also voiced Yuritsa, so I'm not even gonna give him the, like, I'm sure he's a good voice actor, he's just had bad direction, because the guy who was voicing him was the guy in charge of direction, right? So he's an excellent voice actor, just... Why did you go with that direction there? I don't know. Yuri can get pregnant. Yuri can get so pregnant. Balthus, I think, would also be pregnant. I like my strong pregnant men. Alfred, kill it with fire. Abyss Keeper is going in the same tier as Gatekeeper because I remember even less about him. Shez? Oh man, Shez. Okay, I'm gonna say something, and I need you guys to listen to the whole thing before you, say anything. Shez looks like the protagonist of a sports anime if the sports anime was getting pregnant. Does that make sense? And he gets to nationals? Yeah. Exactly. So he can get pregnant. You know, Holst is like a big tragedy for me. Because you're so right, he could compete with Kane of Leonster so good. Okay, wait, no, wait. Who's our... I feel like this is a valuable conversation thread to go down for a second. If we were to have a Fire Emblem Nationals of MPREG, who are you submitting for your top tier pick from each game? Like, who is the shonen anime protagonist of the MPREG sport anime? For every Fire Emblem game. Kane for Thracia, right? I think we could bring Marth from Arcanea. Sigurd's a good pick. Zane, because he probably can get pregnant. They can all get pregnant. They're judged by the panel. Hector's a good one. I think from Fates, I'm bringing Xander from Fates. I think Takumi is eminently more impregnatable, but I think Xander is probably gonna cinch the win. Soren? Maybe? Soren for, Soren or Ranulf from Tellius. I think from Tellius we should bring No, you're so right! You're so right, though! Shinon would hate to be there, and that's why he needs to be there. We could do... I think Alfred from Engage. Alfred's gotta be, like, the cheery one who probably won't win, but is just happy to be there, who's, like, moral support for the real protagonist of the anime. I guess Shez can represent hopes, and I'm sending Dimitri from Houses. Dimitri or Sedith? Who do you think is a better candidate? Yeah, Shinon's the bitter rival character archetype. I forget, did we say a baby would make Inez better? Probably. Inez is the kind of character I'd want to get knocked up. We could bring Inez. Who are we missing? We're missing Binding Blade. Who's getting pregnant from Binding Blade? Percival, maybe? Percival seems like the stoic, silent type that could go. Rutger? You're so right. Python? Python would be a good one. We got a candidate from every game. Zephiel, you're so right. I can't believe we didn't think of that, but is he? No, he's gotta come from 6. He's too baby in 7. Maybe there could be like a villains tier, cause like Zelgius would also be a good one. You could also have, imagine Garen from Fates. Julius wins. Write this down. The MPREG baseball team. Raven would also be a really good one. Lucius, too, though I don't know if his frail body... Wait, what is the like, who wins the MPREG sports anime? Is it whoever gives birth first, or is it like whoever has the most children, or whoever has the healthiest children? Do you get extra points if you have, like, twins? Because if you get extra points if you have twins, I think that runs in the genetics, so we gotta send Ephraim. Like, different categories? Okay. I'm following. Oh, yeah, we could have, like, the Jagan tier. Do you get bonus points if you picked a good partner to, like, help you out? I'm gonna have to do so much editing on this one. Love the chat's creativity today on the MPREG sport anime thing. We should probably finish this tier list, though, because it's been 6.5 hours. Holst. Holst is one of my biggest disappointments because before we saw him, I was like, oh damn, Holst is gonna be so fucking hot. And then we saw him, and I was like, oh damn, he's not hot. So he's gonna have to get bumped down. I'm gonna put, normally, he might be a no. He might be a no, but the potential for pink-haired babies will move him up a tier. Rufus should absolutely not get pregnant. Actually, no. Wait, I take that back. I take that back. I lied. Rufus should absolutely get pregnant, but he should only ever have miscarriages. It's part of the reason why he hates his brother so much. Shahid. I don't really know that much about him. I didn't finish Golden Wildfire. I could see him pregnant. But if I'm gonna put Shahid in I could see him pregnant, I feel like Claude has to move up a tier. Because, like, Claude's definitely more impregnatable than Shahid. So I feel like he just deserves to be up a tier compared to him. Lorenz's dad? No. Casper's dad? Absolutely not. Look at him. I don't know if this is a controversial opinion, but among all of the dads that were added in Hopes, I feel like Linhardt's dad kind of weirds me out the most. And I think it's because he looks like he's like a skin stretched directly, like, tight over his skull. Like, I can see his skeleton under his face. And he's got, like, just, like, the structure of his mouth and, like, the tiny little glasses. He weirds me out. I'm putting him in Kill It With Fire. Which sadly means that both Caspar and Linhardt are officially the spawn of Satan, I guess. He went through brutal twink death. You're right. You're so right. Matthias, no. Bernie's dad. How do we feel about Bernie's dad in the chat? Because I'm like... Here's the thing, right? He kind of sucks. But then they added him into Hopes, and he's, like, not unattractive, and that bothers me a lot. That keeps me up at night, that they didn't make Bernie's dad, like, shit-stain ugly, like they did every other dad they added in Hopes. I mean, like, he really probably shouldn't have another kid. Okay, fine, I'll put him in the bottom tier. I think that does it for our men. I think we got all of them. Yeah. Shout out. Thank you everybody so much for coming to the stream today. I appreciate all of you being here. You know, follow if you want to follow. You want to be alerted next time I go live. The VOD will be up. I'll upload the tier list separately as well. And why don't we do a raid? Why don't we see about doing a raid today?